Caroline, thanks for joining me. Could you start by telling me about a career-defining moment for you?
Absolutely. In 2010, I worked on the FIFA World Cup that was set in South Africa. I worked with Coca-Cola on their global integrated marketing campaign. I travelled the world, going to each market, each region, to create a global platform that would translate across regions. It taught me everything about big creative ideas that travel, about integration of media, and about big events and the importance they are to brand.
Why is being present during important moments good for brands?
Big moments and events provide context for brands so that people, consumers can understand brands better. So they're a shortcut way for brands to borrow, leverage all that beautiful equity that exists that's rich and deep for consumers to understand and enjoy. So I think it's super important for leveraging the right ones.
What do you think is the key to success in capitalizing and leveraging a moment, whether it be sporting, cultural, or decision-making moment for consumers?
I think above all else is a clarity of voice of what your brand wants to stand for, and the brands that know that do it really well. So Nike and the Women's World Cup, Aldi and Christmas. We've got an example around ancestry and the state of origin, where brands really look for moments in events that ladder up to who their brand is and what the voice needs to say.
What comes after the moment? How do you sustain success?
I think the biggest thing for brands that do this well don't treat events as spikes. So they're part of a conversation or a much bigger brand story arc, and they're continued through time. So the event absolutely ladders up to the overarching brand objectives. You can keep the conversation going with content and kind of conversation cues through time, but make it part of a bigger brand campaign that it feels natural and organic and real to the brand and what it's trying to do.
Do you have a favorite campaign or marketing achievement for a brand tied to a big moment?
So summertime is a big moment, and we work with Cancer Council Australia. And this last summer, we have worked on a campaign called End the Trend. And events aren't just big sporting moments or retail spikes, all the rest of it, but actually seasonal moments can be super important for brands. And when you're trying to change behaviour, especially as it relates to skin tanning, summer is obviously very important. And we leveraged influencers who have a big influence on the bad tanning behaviour in order to drive healthy behaviour.
How do brands go about creating their own moment to create cut-through?
So beyond obviously understanding your brand really well, we look to understand consumers and their unmet needs. So what are they craving? Where are they showing up culturally? And how can we tap into those moments that currently aren't being leveraged for them?
What advice and trends are you seeing to help brands create more out of these moments?
So what is super fascinating, and it's pre-COVID to 2025, is the anticipation of events is getting longer. So the time period before an event happens is stretching much further out. And there's just huge opportunities for brands to play in the pre-moment moments and leverage their brand assets and opportunities in a much more rich way to get people excited about events.
Countdowns and build-ups.
Yeah.